We're going to celebrate with some fine folks from Montpelier High School. All brought to you by Miller's New Market in Montpelier. They're offering delivery and pickup for a small fee. Just call 419-485-4348 or text 419-551-8097 and let them know what you want. That's Miller's New Market in Montpelier. And with me right now on a Zoom call, remarkable technology. And the good news is you're going to get to see his handsome face once we put it up on our Facebook page, the one, the only, Mike Bum. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hi, Jim. How are you, my old friend? Good to see you.
It's good.
I can say good to see you because I can actually see you here instead of just doing the radio.
Isn't that amazing?
It's cool. It's cool. You know, Zoom, we just started. Really, nobody knew really what Zoom, or most people didn't even know what Zoom was in January. And now it's the go-all for everybody.
Yeah, and if you would have only been able to predict that, Mike, you know, you could have taken that meager education salary, bought a lot of Zoom stock, and you'd be where these other guys are right now, sitting in Paris or on the beach somewhere.
I know it. I know it. Again, daylight don't short.
Hey, I know you had graduation over the weekend. Tell everybody that's watching or listening right now how all that went.
Yeah, but really, really well it went. Originally, our plan was to have it outside at the football stadium. Well, that got shut down by the governor's orders because you could only have, at that time, a certain amount of people. I think it was less than 100. I don't know. I get confused. It's changed so much. But that got shot down, and our original plans were we were going to have it at the football stadium, and the kids were going to sit 6 feet apart in the stands, and then the parents were going to bring out lawn chairs and just make sure you were 6 feet apart. That got nixed, so we had to go to Plan B, and all the credit goes to Jamie Grimm and Sue Thorpe for this, who put this all together. The next thing is we did a kind of a hybrid of a virtual graduation where kids could come into the school with their parents and grandparents, come across the stage, have it online, post it online, receive their official diploma in their cap and gown, and then walk off. And then we also wanted to have some kind of a ceremonial aspect where they could all get together, tricky thing to do, and also hear some of the great speeches that the three gentlemen that I have on there that are valedictorians, and we'll talk about them later. And so we talked about putting it at Superior. And Superior, for those who don't know what that is, it's an old school of Montpelier's. We have some athletic facilities out there, and it's a huge parking lot. And then the idea that Jamie Grimm, our superintendent, came up with was to have everybody drive in. We'll have a big stage area. We'll put the ceremony on AM radio. So we bought a transmitter so they could drive right in, put it on the AM transmitter, hear the valedictorian and the salutatorian speeches. And then we had the Sheriff's Department and Montpelier Police and Montpelier Fire Department lead the caravan of cars outside of the parking lot all the way through town, which people were coming out of their homes to celebrate these seniors because they've sacrificed a lot. And I hope we get a chance to talk about that as they went through town. And you know what? Talking to these boys, they all liked it. I mean, it was kind of a cool, neat, unique thing in a really crappy time that we've had to do this last quarter here in the spring, but it was kind of a neat, cool thing. So everybody that I talked to said it was a hit.
You know what? It is amazing when you have, you know, the situation like this one that gives you lemons, how folks like you guys can make it into lemonade. Well,
it takes a lot of great people. And again, I want to emphasize Jamie Grimm worked his tail off, and Sue Thorpe, our high school principal, could not be here today, worked her tail off. We all helped out a little bit, but those were the two biggest organizers in this. And then, of course, the community and the kids who've been selfless enough. You know, it's an easy time to complain, too. You know, I don't like the – let's face it here, Jim. The graduation's maybe the biggest event that you're going to have in your childhood. Probably is the biggest event. And to kind of take away the senior year for these kids, or the second half of the senior year, and then you do a graduation that isn't what you're kind of expecting, you understand why parents, families, grandparents are a little bit concerned. But they all rolled with it. They all understood we were working real hard. And you can't do these kind of things unless you have support from a lot of people. We were fortunate to have support from a lot of people at Montpelier.
No doubt. Hey, introduce the three gentlemen that we have on screen with us right now.
Well, I'll promise you this, Jim, and I said this last hour with Andy. The three of these guys in here's GPAs and ACT scores are so much better than you, me, and Andy's that you wouldn't even believe. In fact, if you put our ACT score, Jim, yours, mine, and Andy's, add them all together, they still wouldn't equal one of what these kids have done. They're that good. So we got three geniuses.
I can believe that, man. I can believe that. Although now the bar is kind of low for me and Briggle, okay? I mean, we're banking on you to pull that number up quite a bit. You understand that, though.
We got three geniuses. I picked our valedictorians to come on and speak with you. Very well-rounded kids. Chandler Byers, Jarrett Dye, and Braden St. Holtz are with us today. And pretty sharp kids. I think you're going to like them. And we won't have any problems filling airtime with them. I promise you that.
Well, let's start with Chandler, because Chandler right now, for those of you who are listening to the radio and have not seen the video yet, Chandler is sitting in Paris right now. And, once you see the Facebook video, you'll understand. Have they gotten over the COVID-19 in Paris, Chandler, and opened things up a little bit?
Yeah, they just started opening up. As you can see, I can see the Eiffel Tower from my window here, and I think it's very fascinating. That how fast they started opening things up around here.
It really is. It's amazing how that worked out. And for you, you basically got through the graduation, you hopped right on a jet, you had arrangements all taken care of, and you're sitting in Paris just like this within 48 hours.
Yep. I was a office aide for a lot of these people, so I just put my salary towards that. So that.
I like that. All right. Also with us here today, we have Jarrett Dye, and Jarrett is sitting on a beach somewhere. Jarrett, what beach are you sitting on right now?
I'm in the Bahamas right now, Jim.
Yeah. You know what? I talked to other graduates right at this point in time, and all of them have been sitting like at their house. Okay. But these Montpelier guys, man, they're go-getters, so they've got the go, and they got out of town as soon as they possibly can. Jarrett, why did you pick this location for your first trip after graduation?
Well, you see, I'm actually wearing a Hawaiian shirt right about now. It's got some birds and stuff and some flowers on it, and I thought I should go somewhere to fit that my attire. So I chose the Bahamas.
Excellent. Well, it looks very pretty there today. It looks like you got a nice day for the beach today.
It is. It is unbelievably humid, though, I tell you.
Braden, you look like you might have the same problem there. You're on a beach too, but where are you located now?
Yeah, I'm sweating a little bit. I'm over in Kokomo right now.
You know what? It's amazing. I'll tell you what, Mike, these guys, they graduate on a Saturday. And then, man, when they said you're ready to go, let's go. They went, didn't they? Huh?
Resourcefulness, Jim. Resourcefulness. Yeah, these kids know how to find a way. They can get it done.
Yeah, they really can. So, Mike, you're the best guy to start this conversation. Any of these gentlemen give up some spring sports this year because of all the problems that we've had?
Oh, they sure did. They've given up a lot, not just sports. Jarrett Dye, Braden, and Chandler, all three of them were members of the track team. And I know in Jarrett's case, that's his favorite sport. He's a real good – his dad and mom, by the way, were state shot put people in track, and Jarrett kind of followed in their footsteps there. So he was a great shot putter, and that was his favorite sport. Chandler and Braden also excelled in everything, and they also did in track as well. So, yeah, from an athletic perspective – the sacrifices that these kids have given up, I hope people understand. We're not, that's the best part of your whole academic career from K through 12 is that last quarter of your senior year. They've given up proms, they've given up athletics, they've given up, all the social events that you have going into your last quarter. And they've done that. They were mandated to do that. They're required to do that, but they've done it selflessly. And I think that in itself is something that I hope people appreciate about our youth. So oftentimes, we have a negative connotation when we speak about the youth, like the kids today, they don't know how to do this, or kids today don't work. And I think I'd reject that. And I think this is a prime example of something, again, they were mandated to do that they have done and haven't complained and have just done what they're supposed to do. And they've done this probably this terrible disease that we have that's affected the whole world and is very real and is very serious, but probably not going to affect gravely kids that are 17 and 18 years old, but it can't affect the older people. And we kind of flipped the script here a little bit where, the code's always been adults take care of your youth. And now we've kind of flipped that with this COVID where we've had the youth kind of taking care of our adults. And I just want people to understand that great sacrifice that they've done for us.
I agree. This graduating class, and I've heard it a couple different times, they were born under 9/11 and they graduate with the COVID.
Yeah, they have. They didn't know any better when 9/11 hit, though. But yeah, they have, and every generation has their challenges. This is something that they're going to, obviously remember for the rest of their life. Certainly has kind of stalled what they wanted to do, but things are going to get back to normal sooner rather than later, and they're going to go on. And when you've got people that are as brilliant as the three that I've got here, our three valedictorians, they're going to be successful. And nothing's going to stop that. And so, rest assured, we've got good people here. As I shared with you, their GPAs and their ACTs and the fact that they are these three kids, so involved with everything. I'm talking musicals, okay? I'm talking, band. I'm talking choir. I'm talking athletics. I'm talking quiz bowl. I'm talking, and one of the great things I've always said about a school the size of Montpelier, Jim, is you don't have to be 6'10" to play basketball. You don't have to be Michelangelo to be a great artist. Jarrett Dye is maybe the best art student we have here at the school, one of them, if not the best. You don't have, but you can participate and do a lot of those things that at a big school maybe you wouldn't have those opportunities. And I'd say this: people pay tens of thousands of dollars for their kids in big cities to go to a school, a safe setting like a Montpelier, like an Edgerton, like a Hilltop, like a Bryant, like all these county schools that we have. So we're pretty fortunate from that standpoint.
No doubt. Hey, it's 18 minutes after, almost 19 after 10, guys. I have to pay some bills. So I got to step away. We'll play some commercials, take a quick break. When we come back, I want to feature our graduates, our valedictorians, and find out a little bit more about them and how this year went for those guys. I have Braden Sainholtz, Jarrett Dye, Chandler Byers, and the Foz, Mr. Michael Bum, with me here on the video chat that we're doing right now, and these tribute to the Montpelier High School graduates. With that, I'll step away, pay some bills. When we come back, we'll talk to the smart guys on the chat here on the Q 96.5 FM. And we are congratulating the graduates from Montpelier High School right now. And thankfully, we have Miller's New Market as one of our sponsors today. And for a small fee, you can pick up or deliver. Just call 419-485-4348 or text 419-551-8097 to let them know what you'd like. That's Miller's New Market in Montpelier. They're saying congratulations to the graduates that we have right now with us on the air. And don't forget, we will take this, we're Zooming this, we'll pick this up and put it up on our Q Facebook page and also on the B-Rock page later on in the afternoon, so you can watch this interview if you have not seen it already. And I can tell you, the radio interview, I'm sure, was excellent, but when you get a chance to see the four good-looking guys that are on here with me today, that makes it just that much more special. It really does. Hey, Jarrett, let's get into you, because you were the last guy that we were talking about. Tell me how tough it was this year to have to give up things like an opportunity to throw that shot put this spring.
Well, it was rough because, I looked forward to the end of the senior year for quite some time, preparing for it, and doing a lot of training, a lot of things like that. And it's not something that you really think you're going to miss. Like, it's not something you think that won't come. It was kind of expected, but this is, a shot out of left field. Didn't really think I would have no track season this year. Even like right up till when we had that 3-week spring break that Governor DeWine announced, still thought we'd kind of have some sort of track season. And so it was definitely unforeseen, but I think that I have a lot of good memories from my freshman, sophomore, and junior track seasons, and in junior high too. Had a lot of personal success and team successes there to, I think, still feel good about. I wish I would have had this last season, but I still think I have good memories that I can look back on and be proud of.
Yeah, no doubt. So what was your anticipation for this year? Mom and Dad were both pretty successful. It sounded like maybe you had some opportunities as well. Did you expect yourself, were you good enough this year maybe to get to regionals or even state, or what was your anticipation?
I didn't have any super specific goals. It was more so just to, do the best that I could. Hopefully I think a little bit of a shot at least at winning the BBC in shot put, and a pretty good shot in discus too. I had good marks in that, and I had good numbers from last year, and so that was definitely on the radar. I had hoped to make it to regionals and possibly make it out of there. I don't know what could have happened, but I suppose we'll never know. So.
Yeah, well, you've got quite the story to tell your kids and your grandkids down the road. There's no doubt about that. Hey, Braden, tell me a little bit about maybe what you missed this spring too. What was the thing that you missed the most that you lost this spring?
Well, I'm not quite the track star that old Jarrett Dye is. Personally, I'm really glad that we got to have our school musical. A lot of schools didn't get to have, at least in the full effect of like what it could be audience-wise, get to have their musicals. But I would say that I really miss, I think it would be great to have our senior trip. Our robotics competition got canceled. I was pretty excited for that. So stuff like that.
Yeah, that's tough. You're looking at something like that. You're looking forward to that, I'm sure, in the wintertime. And the next thing you know, the rug gets pulled out from underneath of you.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty tough. For our robotics competition, we had everything, all of our robots already prepared to go to competition, and we were practicing, and then just like that, it got canceled. So.
Where was the competition going to be, Braden?
It's in Marion, Ohio every year. We go up there for a weekend and compete.
Wow, that's that sounds like a big loss too. Marion is a beautiful city this time of year. I can tell you that. I've been there, so you missed a heck of a trip. But again, I'm sure the robotics, is that something you're going to carry with you over the rest of your life? Is that where you're heading with your studies?
Yeah, I plan to major in computer science and engineering, so robotics will for sure be a big part of my career moving forward.
Chandler, tell me what you missed the most this past spring.
Probably there. I gotta say, probably the last week of school or leading up to the last week of school. When they said that this whole thing was going down, we just thought it was a 3-week spring break. We're oh yeah, here we go. But then it turned into, oh shoot, we're probably not going to have the end of the school year. So I got to say, I kind of miss, every senior before us got to see their teachers the last day, see their friends for the last day. Granted, I've been able to see my friends somewhat, but, not the friends that you get to see on your weekends and stuff like that. So I thought that's probably what I miss, is that I wasn't able to do that. So.
Let's flip the switch on you a little bit, Chandler. What did you enjoy the most in your 12 years of school at Montpelier?
Oh boy, there's a lot. I'd say I probably enjoyed my friends and my teachers. We definitely have the best teachers, I think, in the area. We even have teachers, like I said to Andy, we even have teachers leaving other schools. We have one on the air right now, Mike Bum, that left West Unity because he thought Montpelier was just so great. And
hey, Chandler, don't let him kid you, man. There was a big signing bonus involved in that too. It's the fact that most people don't know, but a guy as sharp as Mike Bum, he's got a way. There's an agent. His agent talked to the superintendent of the schools. They negotiated for months. The next thing you know, a check was cut, and he came back to Montpelier. The story's out now, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I bet that was pretty nice. But, I think it was most of the people that got him here, He probably saw us three and was like, you know what? I kind of want to see these kids graduate, because he got to see us go through all 4 years of high school. So
I bet that was the real reason too, Chandler. No doubt about that. Braden, the same question. What did you enjoy the most of your time at Montpelier schools?
Personally, I'm really involved in the music program, and I would say that most I enjoyed the musicals at the school. It was really great to to get with all the kids in that program and perform for 3 nights every year, and I think they all went super well. So that was my favorite memory from it.
Jarrett, the same question your way.
I think I enjoyed athletics at Montpelier all around, especially in high school. I enjoyed playing them, football and track, and I also enjoyed going to watch them and support them, especially this year. We had a new girls basketball coach. He was really, really getting stuff done this year, and he gave us something to really cheer for here in the winter season this year. But, other sports, we've been known to go to cross-country things, golf outings, whatever it is. Just love to support them and stop by and support our other Montpelier athletes.
Hey, Jim, can I interject real quick?
Yes, I was hoping I was coming to you to tell me a little bit about what you enjoyed about all 3 of those guys too. So take this.
Let me get to that in a minute here, but I want to tell you this story. Jarrett Dye never wrestled in high school. This is a true story now.
Okay.
And he's got a scholarship. He got money to the University of Findlay to wrestle, and he's going to wrestle next year. Never wrestled a day in his life. Have you ever heard of that? A kid gets a scholarship and never has played the sport.
Jarrett, how did you have the same agent, Jarrett, that Mr. Bum had when he came back to Montpelier? How did that work out?
Well, I don't have a scholarship yet. I have to prove that I'm not absolutely terrible. But no, I wrestled as a 6th grader, so we'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting.
That will be interesting.
I'm not like Mike Bum. I didn't have an agent to sign me or anything.
Okay, but you're not really allowed to on the college level. But we'd have kept that
Exactly,
between you and me, just like I kept that between you and me with Mike's situation too. I'm good at keeping secrets.
Of course.
Mike, tell me a little bit about these 3 fellows from your perspective.
Well, a lot of, like they just said, again, people who did a lot of good things, a lot of things, were very multi-talented and kept up, obviously, great grades, or they wouldn't have been our valedictorian. Braden had talked about the musicals. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen Chandler and Braden out singing the national anthem before games. Braden was and both of them had starring roles in the school play this year. Jarrett, as I had said, is, if not our best artist in the school, and he may well be, certainly one of our best artists. They all played athletics. They were in Quiz Bowl at one time. It goes on and on and on of kids who can do so many things, well-rounded kids. And they're just nice kids. We had them in here in the office. Now we've kind of went in different rooms here for the Zoom cast, but we had them in the first hour with Andy, and they're just fun kids. They're winners, Jim. They're winners. And we've got a lot of them here. And the reason why I had to pick just 3 is because those are our 3 valedictorians. And, we could talk. We had 86 seniors this year at Montpelier that graduated. 21 went to Fort County, which is a great institution. And they also had the Fort County graduation before we had the Montpelier graduation. We had 15 kids that were in National Honor Society. Our salutatorian was Allison Lamontang. Our class officers, Allison Lamontang, Emma Claire, Tyler Fomfu. Did I pronounce that right? I always butcher that voice. Homeview, okay. Just a litany of things that they've done. I'm looking right here on my note. Oh, Kennedy Caudle was our school secretary. So a lot of good things. This is one of the bigger classes we've had at Montpelier, 86 kids in a while. It's been several years since we've been in that number of graduates. Usually now we're in the 60s and 70s, but 86 this year. So, you just can't say enough about them. Again, I appreciate the sacrifices that all of our seniors had to make all of our kids.
Yes.
All of our kids, but especially the seniors in their senior year. And I think the country does with the outpouring of respect that they've given all the seniors throughout the country. And they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. This is just a bump in the road for them, and they're going to be successful, and they're having great times, and they're going to be able to tell these stories to their grandkids and their kids someday.
Yeah, they really will. Chandler, where are you heading to school next year?
In the fall, I'll be attending the University of Pittsburgh. So.
Wow. And what's your major?
Undecided. I'm a big procrastinator, so this definitely fits me. So I guess I'll figure it out when I get there. Even maybe the next year I'll figure it out.
Hey, take your time. I'm a big proponent of the 7 to 8 year plan. Okay, for college. That's just the bachelor's degree. I mean, if you're going to go after something more, it might take a little longer. But you know, it's tough to leave those college campuses. Trust me, Chandler. Braden, where are you going next year?
I'm going to be at The Ohio State University in the.
Wow, and studying. Yeah, we talked about that a minute ago. But what's your field of study?
Computer science and engineering.
There you go. And Jarrett, we heard you're heading to Findlay, and you're going to wrestle, but you also have to open a book every now and then too. So, what are you going to study when you get to Findlay?
I will be majoring in biology. So.
Wow. Holy smokes, Mike. Not only did they get good grades, they got good grades in tough subjects. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're not taking cream puff. And that's another thing too, Jim. Look at the classes these three kids have taken. We're talking advanced college prep type of classes. So they weren't just taking basket weaving 101. I promise you that. They were taking really difficult classes. And again, I mean, we're talking about some of these kids on here that have gotten into the to the 30s on their ACT.
Wow.
Now, 35 is perfect. Okay. So they're getting it done. How's that? They're getting it done.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. I think I got well into the teens with my ACT. You know, is 13 well into the teens?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. At least it wasn't my
with effort, though, Jim.
That's it, man. I went to The Ohio University at that point in time, and 13 was before the top of the class back then, man. Guys, I'll tell you, let's go one more round around the circle and see what everybody's got planned for the summer, and then I'll let you get back to your lives today. Braden, what you got planned for the rest of the year? Hopefully they'll unlock everything, and once you come back from the beach, you'll be able to do a little more than what you did the last couple of months. But what's the summer look like for you?
Well, for now, I'm just working out at the little grocery store in Pioneer. Maybe hopefully there will be a big boys road trip with some of these guys in it. So that's just the hopes for the summer.
That sounds like fun. Jarrett, outside of the big boys road trip with these other two guys, what do you have planned?
I will keep working at the Thompson Funeral Home here in Montpelier. I work there as a groundskeeper and the center of comedic relief for everyone else. So I'm going to keep doing that for my summer.
That sounds good. And Chandler, yourself?
I'm going to start off with learning a little French because I don't understand a single thing they're talking about right here. And after I come back, I'm going to start working again with Brian Fritch over at the county. So shout out to Brian right there. And I also do a little umpiring for the Pony League and Youth League here. And I hear they're starting up that. So I'm really excited for what this summer hopefully has to offer.
Yeah. Mike, I'll tell you, I'll give you the last word here today. I'll tell you, three wonderful young fellows. You've extolled the virtues of everybody at the school system and everything else that's going on. But it has been a tough year, and I would think that most of the students and faculty at Montpelier are happy to have this one in the books and are probably looking forward to a wonderful 2021.
Yeah, we're hopeful that we can have normal school next year, and I can speak from my perspective is I really hope it's normal. I don't know if it'll be some kind of half in, half out. I don't know. That's people way higher up than me to decide. Boy, I hope it's just a normal school year in August that we can do. Jim, I also want to real quick give a shout out. We've got some kids. One, Daniel Belknap comes to mind that is going to go to the military upon graduation. And here at Montpelier, I think we've done a real good job since we've got a few minutes here. We've got a program called E3. And what this program does, it's led by Stephanie Friend, Katie Branshaw, and Bess Cooley, teachers here at the school. They had decided that we want to give kids a pathway to one of those areas, either be enlisted, be enrolled, or be employed by somewhere in the workforce. So they have a program set up for all of our kids in high school that gets them on a path. And what they do is they bring in speakers, do field trips, do other kind of workshops in those areas. So when they graduate, they've had a portfolio that can direct them exactly what they want to do. And then they can switch fields. So they can, for example, if they wanted to be, one time they were going to be enrolled and now they wanted to enlist in the military, they can switch that at any time. We also showcase all those kids. We don't just showcase, although it's very important, the kids that are going to go to college. I think we had something like 70% of our kids said they're going to college. And usually it's not that many when it's all said and done. They either go to the workforce or get enrolled. So it's usually far less than that. But that's what they've indicated. And then we promote them. We take great pictures of the kids that are going to be enlisted or employed. We give out scholarships in the form, Bernie Davis, in the forms of tool belts. And those things are so expensive. In tool boxes that are a value of some cases up to $1,500 for these kids who've excelled in the employed aspect of the E3 program. And I bring that up to you because, you know, sometimes I've heard that, you know, you focus too much on kids that are going to college. That's really not the case in Montpelier. We focus on all, or we try to. And it's been one of the great programs we've had here at Montpelier. And again, it goes into that being real world and also you know, well-rounded, and we want our students to be in every possible aspect we can think of.
You know, Mike, I do think that education, especially on the elementary and secondary level nowadays in all of our towns, has changed dramatically since you and I went to school, and dramatically for the good.
It has, and one, you and I, and I've had a radio program with them. We talked about the rec center that we have here at Montpelier, specifically the schools, the trade, the tools and trade that we have for our students, that they can go out there. And it's kind of like, we would have called it the industrial art, but it's so much more than industrial arts. We've got a robotics lab out there. We've got this, we call it shop class, but these kids are learning how to change tires. They're learning how to put in windows. They're learning plumbing. We're promoting Fort County, but not every kid wants to go to Fort County for one reason or another. That's a great place. Some stay. Some just want some, you know, some real world skills, even though they're going to go to college and take those classes. So we're all about, it's not just reading, writing, and arithmetic that we're teaching you. We're all about hands-on, real life stuff that we promote to our kids. And Montpelier's, you know, really, really an advanced, I believe, a district in that. And I think technologically, I think we're second to none with Jim Lee, who's got us on the forefront of a lot of different programs. I think our teachers were prepared as you could be to go to virtual online. We don't like it because we believe in talent of teachers. We believe in that face-to-face interaction. But I think our teachers handled that because they were so sophisticated in technology under the direction of Jim Lee, our science teacher.
Guys, I'm going to let you get back to your lives here today. Hey, I really appreciate your time. Jarrett and Braden, make sure you get the sunscreen on for the rest of the day because the beach looks a little warm out there right now. And Chandler, I hope you do pick up at least a little bit of French so that you don't starve to death while you're there. Guys, congratulations, the three valedictorians from Montpelier High School, Braden Sandholtz, Jarrett Dye, Chandler Byers, and also our buddy Mike Bum, who is a big part of what goes on over at Montpelier. Guys, have a great summer. Thank you for your time today. Congratulations. I'm sorry it didn't go like it normally did, but you know what? Maybe this was even better as you look back on it. Everybody got a chance to walk up on the stage throughout the last 100 or 200 years. Not everybody got to do what you guys did to celebrate here at the end of the year. With that, we're heading back to the radio. I've got classic hits all day long here on the Q 96.5 FM.